Hello, everyone, and welcome to Aftermarket Intelligence Unlocked. I am Dibyajyoti Pal, AI Product Manager here at Tavant, and it's great to have you join us for episode 8 of our monthly series. Every last Friday of the month, we spend 30 minutes with industry experts discussing what's changing, what's working, and what's next in the manufacturing aftermarket and service ecosystem. Before we jump in, a couple of quick notes. This session is being recorded and you will receive a playback link afterward. Please drop your question in the Q&A box anytime. We'll try and answer as many as we can towards the end. There is also a poll going on. Please feel free to participate. Service poll question is on the screen, you can see, so you can always attend that. Today's topic is Agentic AI for customer experience and service personalization, how human expertise and AI together are redefining how contractors and customers experience service in roofing industry. Joining me is Greg Colletto, Director of Design Service at GAF, one of the leading names in commercial roofing. Greg brings years of experience leading digital transformation initiative in the building materials and manufacturing sectors. He brings deep field and warranty expert experience, combining technical precision with practical insight to help team modernize service and support through AI-driven innovation. I am Dibyajyoti Pal, AI Product Manager at Tavant. I help manufacturing companies with AI-first strategies to map real-world aftermarket use cases, bridging technical research with real-world product delivery at Tavant. I help design intelligent frameworks that enables personalized customer experience, improve service orchestration, and drive measurable business outcomes. Before we begin, a quick introduction to Tavant. At Tavant, we are dedicated to transforming aftermarket operation with powerful, data-driven, AI agent-powered solutions. Our mission is to help manufacturers, distributors, and service organizations deliver frictionless, personalized experiences that drives measurable business impact. Without further delay, let's dive into today's session. Greg and I will walk you through the challenges, the transformation journey, and practical ways AI can empower people rather than replace them. So, Greg, you have been leading innovation in GF design service team. Could you start by sharing what that world looks like today and where you see the biggest opportunities?
Absolutely, DJ. And first, let me just say thank you for having me onto today's podcast or webcast, episode 8 of Aftermarket Intelligence Unlocked with Tavant. If we want to go move to the slides, be more than happy to walk you through our journey. Thank you. So as we go through, one thing that people don't know is, what's understand about building materials is that it is an industry that is everywhere around you, whether it is physical, whether it is in the theoretics, of building design and product performance. But the challenge that we have is this is still a business, right? So when we go through and look at our business model, we're generally B2B. Our end customer that uses our products is not the one that is purchasing them from us. Our products are often commoditized and driven based off of price. So we're always combating that kind of challenge in ourselves of how to differentiate and show value when price is the leading decision maker. Customer expectations of service turnaround, living in the TikTok generations where everything is within bite sizes and given to you on the ready. Our industry is similar in the sense that when requests come to us, the expectation is that they are delivered promptly. There is no willingness for lead time. There is no patience for delays. So our expectation is to build infrastructure and systems that can help enable us. Knowledge transfer within the customer workforce and also our own. We are an industry that is built around what we call is the blue collar industry, an aging workforce, and it takes 20 to 30 years to be what's considered technical expert. But in terms of turnaround and when it's time to retire out of the workforce, you unfortunately don't have the same 20 to 30 years to be able to provide the next individual, the next generation, that opportunity to learn. Within our customer base, the same within ourselves, there's always rapid adoption of digital tools, yet we quickly define and understand that they do not drive the ROI value that was either anticipated or desired. So we try to be more skeptical, we try to be more critical, we try to reduce scope and focus our efforts rather than trying to what we call boil the ocean. Trends for us are oftentimes identified retroactively and oftentimes are responded to late. The opportunity to make an impact is oftentimes missed, and it is given the fact that the feedback loops and the cycles and the information that we have tend to come just too far down the cycle. So our focus has really been how to establish that as a challenge and put intent behind it. If you look at the impacts, differentiation and value proposition for ourselves is one of our key components. It's our key focus. It is trying to differentiate that not just the price is why you purchase in a company such as GAF. Established understanding of business operations is lost when you have turnover. Whether someone's retiring, where someone decides to go on a new journey, the ability to bring on that next individual oftentimes is quite challenging. So we put a lot of effort, energy in training. We put a lot of effort and energy in backfilling, creating redundancies. But again, 20 to 30 years of experience is not easy to replace overnight. When you have the reputation of being the go-to expert, that experience and that relationship is often fragile. It takes years to build and it only takes seconds to destroy. So as we look at any new individual we bring on, we are trying to ensure that the resources, the support, and ultimately the experience they provide is unmatched and unparalleled to competition, but it is also a continuation of what they've been experiencing for the past 20, 30 years as a customer. Expectations don't always meet reality. I think that's pretty much common in place in any service industry and organization. Anytime that the experience does not match what the customer expects, it just creates tension and friction within the selling process. Ultimately, personalization and customization are often deprioritized when you're looking to scale solutions. Our focus is being able to provide tranched, bespoke, real-time, personalized offerings that our customer does not need to understand from behind the scenes what it takes to deliver. We want to make sure that they understand when we provide them offerings that they are meant for them, personalized to them, and address their common needs and concerns. Looking at the business needs, solutions that can support personalization and customization at scale is one of our most critical components to any solution that we have begun to deliver in the past few years. Insights and suggestions based on evaluations of massive project data sets. We're trying to make sure that we have tools that can help recommend, summarize, promote, help us understand what we are seeing within our data to provide options and feedback back to our customers. Automation and standardization of repetitive tasks. Just like in any organization, when you go through and realize how much non-value added work an individual might have, but that is deemed business critical, we want to make sure that our tools, our softwares, and our processes are enabling us to be more efficient, be more effective. And ultimately, as we said already a few times through this, knowledge transfer systems that do not turn over. Whatever solutions we build, we want to make sure that that knowledge is stayed within the team and can only further enhance and bring onboarding at a faster rate, bring on adoption of new users at a faster rate. We do not want to have the churn that institutional knowledge is lost and you unfortunately don't have the time to rebuild. So taking a look at this is kind of a generalized day in the life of working in GAF commercial. But again, this is a general statement that can be applied to many places. What we end up spending a lot of our time at the bottom there is the technical review of our roofing assemblies. But where we want to spend more of our time is helping define the roofing assemblies and options for our customer, enabling our selling process, and then at the end of the life cycle of a commercial roofing system, be able to restart this kind of circular flow and circular process as you see in front of you. Today, a lot of time goes into the warranty guarantee registration, customers looking warranties for our products. We go to the technical review. And again, it's just repetitive tasks that we do see that don't drive as much value to our end customer where we could have provided more wider velvet glove service upfront.
Okay, that's a perfect setup, Greg. Let's move on to the next slide where, what you have described, that the heavy review load, the documentation churn, and the challenge of keeping knowledge inside the organization is exactly where Agentic AI steps in. Let's look at this slide together. So first, the manual technical reviews. So your business process takes a lot of heavy load on the technical reviews. So most of this work is basically rule-based. Does the submittal meet our design standard? Does it qualify for the requested warranty? Is it repetitive but essential? All this, a validation agent applies those rules automatically and routes only the exceptions for human reviewer. So 90% of this work can be done by the validation agent, while the 10% that truly needs judgment can be done by the human. Second, you did mention the documentation overload. So a lot of forms, photos, and invoices are managed manually. Documentation agents extracts, verify, and pre-fill data so teams don't have to re-enter information. Third, knowledge loss with turnover. It's not just the your industry problem, but a problem in general, that expertise walk out of the door when experienced people retire. Knowledge agent captures that logic and make it searchable so that the standard doesn't disappear. Finally, generic Personalization. So usually on a rule-based system, everyone gets the same templated message, but personalization agents dynamically generate job-specific specs, guarantees, and updates. So every contractor interaction feels tailored. And the principle at the bottom sums it up. We enable assist, we do not encourage replacement. So there is always human in the loop. The goal isn't to take people out of the process, it is to let them spend time on what truly drives value and where you want to focus, like what you have just shown in your slide, Greg, that where you want to spend more time. Now, when these agents start working together, they just don't automate, they orchestrate. Let's see what that looks like in the next slide. So here is where orchestration comes in. Think of agentic AI as a digital conductor sitting at the center of your ecosystem, continuously connecting people and system. In the middle, you have the orchestration hub, and that's the AI layer coordinating everything around it. Technicians or your field service reps get the next best action recommendation and the guidance for the workflows that they need to follow, the real time updates. They are never waiting on a status. Your contractors or partners get AI assisted submission validation and proactive feedback so they know early if something needs correction. You don't spend more time reviewing what if they have done some mistake. Customers or building owners get proactive notifications and transparent progress report, which builds confidence and reduce check-in calls. All the systems, ERP, CRM, and so many others that you may have a lot of different portals with your inspection tools and stuff like that, these stay synchronized. AI pushes and pulls data across them so everyone works from one version of truth, and that makes everyone's life easier. What this really means is we are moving from isolated interaction to connected intelligence. Instead of multiple handoffs, every role and every system is aligned in real time. And of course, the question we always hear is where do we start? Let's talk about that in the next slide. So, here is a practical part, the roadmap. So, first step, lay the foundation, prepare yourself, pick one rule based repetitive workflow, something like documentation validation. Start small, map what data you already have, and build a small business case around efficiency and accuracy gain. Once you are completed, go for the next step, go for a pilot, start small with human in the loop validation. Let the agent make recommendation, but not let it do the work while people review and approve the things that AI is recommending. In that way, you can measure the accuracy, you can provide feedback to the AI system, and you can measure the cycle time, you know, what is the improvement coming up there. Once that process is done, you can go for a controlled rollout. So still with the guardrails, expand gradually, add review checkpoints and governance, document success metrics, and keep refining rules. The last one is scale and govern, connects agents across systems and departments, and maintain transparency in how AI decisions are made. The key takeaway: AI adoption is an evolution, not a leap. Start small, learn fast, and scale with confidence. So, Greg, how does this kind of staged approach line up with what you are seeing in GF?
Hey, that's a great question, DJ. So one, I would like to say, GAF in the past tend to use the waterfall or the Big Bang, the Big Bang method. A lot of functionality deployed at one time. Most places it would oftentimes be over time, over budget. A lot of the functions that would be operationalized would be considered working as designed, but not as intended. And often the ability to take customer feedback in that type of development cycle would be unmanageable, or the budget would not, the project would not have the budget nor the scope to be able to accommodate. With the pleasure of working with Tavant over the past couple of years, we've definitely been able to adopt this type of delivery style where we work in sprints following the similar, most will understand, the agile workshop or workflows, being able to develop small but targeted components and functionality, sending it to your customers to be able to get feedback to make sure that you're developing into the right track, And then if there is feedback or suggestions, that it's incorporated and rapidly prototyped to make sure that the customer shows one, that their voice is validated, and two, that you're developing solutions that will actually make the impact that you are looking for. Oftentimes with these projects, when the scope is too large and the amount of resources continue to grow, you're never able to get the phase twos or the additional sprints of development that you need to actually fine tune your product. And that has been something that Tavant has helped us over the past few years really understand is a better practice for delivery.
Glad to be of help, Greg. It's a pleasure always. So thank you so much, Greg, for taking us through your experiences and your expectations and what you want to see out of the agentic AI landscape. And as we wrap up our discussion, let's move into the Q&A segment. Please keep sending your questions in. We will take as many as time allows. So the can see a couple of questions there already. So the question is, you mentioned knowledge transfer as a key issue. What strategies have worked so far to retain when experienced employees retire or move on? So I think the question is for you, Greg.
Absolutely. So I think the first is documentation, document. Make sure that our workflows, our processes are documented. Make sure that they're clearly understood amongst all of the functional team members. Making sure that the collateral that we build as training and resource material continues to be developed. But I would say our biggest area of augmentation lately has been using AI to become the knowledge hub, whether it's a multimodal approach of using, Gemini, using ChatGPT, using the resources that are out there and using LLMs to become our knowledge hub. That has been something that we have pursued recently at GAF to really help superpower and enhance our existing workforce. Again, really the basis of avoiding downtime with turnovers and ensuring that we're able to keep business continuity going forward for our customers.
Perfect, perfect. And with AI coming in, I've been this is going to help you a lot with this knowledge transfer. And as you are evolving, it will keep on sharpening all the ends. So the next question is also for you, Greg. Has GF already started experimenting with AI internally, or are you still in the exploration phase?
Another good question, DJ. So aside from using LLMs, in the kind of the basis of most at this current time, we have begun our path of discovery and understanding of how to build, as you mentioned, frameworks that we can start small. We can understand how to iterate and show either proof of concept or show some type of business impact to then be able to scale and then develop solutions that are orchestrations, not just individual agents. So we're definitely going down that path right now with Tavant, and it's something that we're very excited to continue to pursue. But we're definitely in our early stages, as I think many and most are.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thanks again for the response, Greg. Very valuable input. And the next one we have in line is, how is agentic AI different from traditional automation or RPA that many companies already use? I'll take that one. So it's a great question, commonly asked. So traditional RPA automates steps. It follows fixed rules. If X, then Y. Agentic AI automates outcomes. So it understands the context. It can make decisions within the guardrails and collaborate with people and other agents. So RPA is static. Agentic AI is adaptive, goal driven, and human aware. So I hope that answers the question. The next one that we have here is, could you share a simple example of how these AI agents work together across teams, for instance, between contractor and field service reps? Great, great questions. Very good question to understand the landscape of the roofing industry. So if we take a roofing project, it's a complicated one. So a contractor submitting a job design, he does a lot of inputs. He has to provide the information for materials, insulations, in what layer they have put the insulations. They have to provide the building details. They have to provide what warranty terms they're looking for, what wind speed they're looking for. So all this information coming in. So a validation agent basically checks those specs against the design rule. A recommendation agent suggests the right guarantee and price. A field agent later compares on-site photos that maybe the inspector or the field service reps who are going and taking the photographs on the roof can approve, can extract the images, find whether it is at par with the information that were previously submitted with the by the contractor, and it can also flag deviation. And moreover, it can, with using the LLM, it can generate the entire inspection report and send it to the reviewer, the technical reviewer. So with this, an orchestration agent coordinates, updates, rework, finally triggers the guarantee certificate. That's an end-to-end process moving seamlessly from submittal to guarantee. So, and all, can be powered by cooperating agents. So with this, there are a lot of other use cases, apart from the, job. Apart from the job, there are claims, there are inspection, there are a lot of different other agentic AI can do in terms of, in the field of roofing manufacturing business. So yeah, so that's all. So Greg, do you have anything else to share today?
Yeah, I think that maybe just a little bit from those questions, I think that the basis for us of trying to understand where AI or some type of agentic solution can enhance our current teams and our processes, a lot of it comes down to what is our customers looking for to help augment their business. So when we look for solutions that we want to build, does it bring value to our end customer? And if it does, we make that position clear within the organization, and we try to advocate for development efforts or some type of, like I said, proof of concept to determine its value. We've gotten to that place where you can't solve everything for everybody, but if you can keep that focus that if it does not solve that or provide value to your end customer, it's not something that we generally should be prioritizing or putting at the top of our to-do list. Has been, again, a good guidance, good area for us to kind of help internal conversations and just keep us moving forward in the right direction.
Perfect. And the biggest challenge, what we have seen in many other organizations, is when implementing AI, it is one thing to institutionalize it inside the company, and it is another thing to socialize it with your partners. The biggest problem is the change management. People are always used to do something that they have been doing so far. How do you think, Greg, with all this AI and automations that are coming up, what would be the adoption rate for your partners community?
So that, like I started with, our industry tends to be digital adopters in the sense that they'll take technology in, but then have a hard time figuring out how to show its value. So without a partner such as us to be able to show them value and show them why it's critical to their business, adoption tends to be low. Feedback loops tend to take several months to years. When we anticipate in the world today, we'd hope to be in hours and minutes. I think that it really aligns where if we're engaged and can drive and understand the value to them, articulate it into way to them, they will adopt it as soon as we can provide them the insights. And unfortunately, if we can't, we need to do a better job at explaining why we think it is valuable for them. Our customer base are sold every day a new software platform, a new digital tool, a new, again, we're blue collar, so a new tool to go do a roof installation quicker. But again, at the end of the day, it's just overselling and never really delivering the value that these customers are looking for.
So, as I also know from your industry that your contractors are always rated based on their performance, based on their certification. Do you also see in the future, maybe down the line, 2 or 3 years, maybe you will also have this as a parameter that whether they are adopting AI and how much they are doing it in their performance review and
I
having
think
a
that
better.
that's a good one. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, please
I think
go ahead.
that's a good thought. I don't know necessarily if we would benchmark them on their use of AI or not. I think that if we can deliver solutions that they can see or perceive the value, we can measure them on that. Are they accepting what we are delivering or helping, bring to market or shepherding for them? Or are they doing things on their own? That is another thing that we have seen is that some of these entities are much smaller than we are. It can work at a much faster rate. So that's kind of a two-way street. It might be the same where a customer's looking at us saying, "Hey, we've developed solutions. Where's your scorecard? And what are you doing to help enable us?" So I think that might be that was a good thought, and I think it's a two-way street.
Perfect. Yeah, that concludes. And definitely, there are a lot of new avenues that will open up as we are moving ahead with this bottleneck speed of technology. So great. Thanks, Greg, for all these valuable insights and your time. So we really appreciate it. And we would love to answer the rest of the questions, but due to the time limitations, we will request you to kindly post your questions that are unanswered in the session over an email to hello@tavant.com, and we will quickly respond to your questions. Or you can just reach out to me personally over LinkedIn, or to Greg, I believe, as well. So for any industry related question, and we will be very happy to connect, and we'll be very happy to answer you. Thank you everyone for your time and listening to us. Have a great day ahead.